we separated from Malaysia because we believed in this ideal of a multiracial society. We believed that before race, language, and religion, we should first and foremost be Singaporean. That was the fundamental reason for our foundation as a country. So we came down hard on chauvinists and racial extremists. We built HDB estates where all the different races lived and mingled together. There are no segregated ghettos in Singapore. We made English our working language, and gradually all our schools shifted to teaching in English. We created GRCs so that minorities would always be represented in Parliament. And this way, we encourage all the communities to come together and yet gave each community space to maintain their own cultures and their own ways of life. When delicate and awkward issues arose, we dealt with them together. For example, when we discovered a Jama'ah Islamiyah group planning to set off suicide bombs in Singapore after 9/11, we handled it as one people. We didn't divide into Muslims and non-Muslims. But at the same time, we made the effort to bring everybody together and to ensure that every community could hold its own and not be left behind. So we set up self-help groups. The communities did, starting with Mendaki, later SINDA, then CDAC, and AMP, and the Eurasian Association. And the government supported them. And so we progressed together. Therefore, for SG50, every community in Singapore is celebrating because every community has progressed with the nation. And each group is celebrating with the other groups because we're one united people. I've attended many SG50 celebrations this year. A Catholic Jubilee Mass at the indoor stadium, the SG50 Kita National Day Observance Ceremony here in this campus, led by the Malay Muslim organizations, but with other groups participating, a Buddhist celebration at the indoor stadium, a Protestant prayer event at the National Stadium, a joint concert organized by the Taoist Federation, the New Creation Church, and others at the Star Performing Arts Center. Here you see one of the items, a Chinese Kung Fu group performing with a Silat group. One function. At one dinner, I had sitting around my table representatives of all the world's major religions. And I posted a picture on Facebook. It showed the Rabbi of Singapore, together with the Mufti of Singapore, and Mr. Gurmeet Singh, a Sikh leader who was then chairing the IRO, the Inter-Religious Organization. Each had different dietary rules. Each was served food that met his religious requirements. But nothing stopped them from having a meal together and being friends together. In fact, they took a selfie together, which I also posted on Facebook, only in Singapore. Some people may think that racial and religious harmony is not a problem anymore and that I'm making too much about this. But they would be wrong. Race and religion are always sensitive matters, especially for us. And in some ways, today, more complex and difficult to handle than 20 years ago. Because religiosity has gone up. Many societies, people are taking their religion more seriously. Happens in developed countries like US, Britain, Australia, Germany, where you see racial and religious tensions. Happens in Singapore too. Not tensions, but people taking religion more seriously. And everywhere, people exposed and vulnerable to extremist ideologies, like the jihadist ideology of ISIS. We are a multiracial and multi-religious society, and we are always at risk of deep fault lines opening up. And we must never take our present happy state of affairs for granted.